everybody. It's another week, another chance to look at some trailers. Ryan Stevens is back from GDC.
Sorry.
And this is...
Daniel Bloodworth did a great job. I watched the episode, or listened to it.
I was just about to say the all-important name of the show, Ryan, and you cut me off.
Well, it was also important to give Daniel Bloodworth props.
Let's all go to the trailers, is the show that we're on right now.
Let's?
Kyle likes the title.
I always to me, a good radio etiquette is to never speak until I'm addressed. That's probably the longest I've had to wait in the show.
But I did address you. I did.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Mr. Kyle Bosman, Mr. Ryan Stevens. I am Brandon Jones, the host of this show, and I got 3 trailers to watch. Before we start, I want to bring up something that I aired on previous shows. I mentioned that these are 3 of the best trailers of the week. That is not necessarily true, and it's definitely not true of some of the trailers were about the show. I think they're the ones that would raise the best stories, or that I have questions pertaining. So
most interesting.
There's one trailer that I don't like.
Gumming about.
Yeah. There's one trailer I'm not a big fan of in this episode.
I wonder which one it could be.
Me too. Let's do it.
It's not this first one, and the first one is a new Assassin's Creed trailer, which we don't get too often.
Well, annually.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for the huge announcement, I mean, it's nice. It's nice to get this brand new thing, not just getting another Madden or something, but there's so many questions that surround every new Assassin's Creed when we get the trailer.
How similar will it be to the last one?
This is true.
You're coming in this very cynical, Ryan.
I'm in a cynical mood.
I'm actually super cynical about this trailer because this trailer seems so different from all the other announcements that they've done for Assassin's Creed. It feels like something went wrong. It feels like this trailer was supposed to be a part of something bigger, but they had to rush it out.
This is their next-gen showcase, right? It says, welcome to next-gen or something like that.
Yeah.
And this is the least amount of fanfare I've ever seen given to an Assassin's Creed trailer. But have we gotten an answer on is this in-engine? Because then it's fairly impressive, But compared to their CG blowouts from before, where how many of our top 100 trailers were Assassin's Creed trailers? 3% or something like that. It's a tease to be fair, but
So the way you say, Brandon, that you feel like it was meant to be something bigger.
Oh, it says alpha game footage. I fucking skipped that.
Yep.
I'm an idiot.
That maybe this came out the day after Kotaku ran its story about Unity and Comet and everything. It could have easily just been pushed out. People know about our game. Let's at least get our message out there before everything it's buried under assumptions. Do you know? So that could be it. A funny thing about these papers flying by, you can watch them disappear. You kind of you watch them dissolve in midair, which is not very next gen.
The next gen doesn't exist.
Sure.
I'm going on record.
That's Ryan's official stance, by the way.
There are no next-gen games. They're like Bigfoot.
So Brandon, what do you like about this? You said this was not the bad trailer, which means that you like it at some point.
I like it better than the trailer I consider the bad trailer of this week.
Sure.
But I think I don't think this trailer is really soft. This didn't really get me excited, and I'm super excited about this time period. And I dearly love the Assassin's Creed franchise, so I'm very, very excited about what they can do with this game. But I either do a huge push towards tech or do a huge push towards theme, but don't do this weird wishy-washy thing in the middle where it's yeah, it's France, it kind of looks good, Assassin's Creed Unity.
Okay.
It's I need more of one.
Here's what they do, okay? It's Versailles. Crazy party, okay? Crazy party Versailles, women with the powdered wigs and everything,
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
You can't see anyone. Background music, kind of some weird chamber music, but with a beat, like a mashup, okay? Mm-hmm. You don't realize it. Queen Latifah's Unity starts playing, okay?
Totally.
You pan into the people, it's Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's wedding in Versailles. And then this
he comes in and kills Kanye?
No, he just shows up and he's like, what's he going to do,
Right.
That would shock us.
Yeah.
That would be a thing that would shock us.
Time paradox.
Maybe that's it, Kyle. I wasn't really shocked by this trailer. It was just kind of oh, that's what it is. Okay. Where I usually, get something really resonates whenever I see an Assassin's Creed trailer. So I give this a 6. I think it's kind of poopy.
I didn't mention the one thing I liked, actually, was hearing the angry mob. The audio of this trailer is actually, I think, the best part of it. Hearing that noise get louder and louder as you get closer to the assassin. Still, though, yeah, this doesn't do what we would want it to do. It does feel like it was pushed out just so we have an image to attach to the name. 5.8.
6.2.
To answer your question, Kyle, this is the trailer that I think is really dumb.
I couldn't get through this.
But here's the thing. Here's why I'm including this trailer. And I know that there's a lot of trailers that come out every week that I'm sure you're probably thinking, oh, there's other trailer. Carmageddon, we're not specifically going to talk about this week, but Carmageddon had a great trailer. But normally when I see a trailer that's bad, I still understand it. Like, trailers is kind of my craft. And so I want to learn more and more about trailers. And I don't even know where to start with this thing. As far as what it is, why it's bad, specifically, what they were intending, what part of Project Spark this goes. I don't even know where to start. Like, if you had a Linkin Park thing for Infamous, that would totally make sense. For Second Son or something, you have like a music video. You're like, oh yeah, totally. But it's like, there's like I don't even know. Kyle, I don't know where to start.
Okay, so for the audience, this is a Linkin Park music video. This is their official music video for this song.
It is?
Yeah, built in Project Spark. Some insane cross-promotion. You're meant to like Linkin Park and you're meant to like Spark, and you're meant to download this and remix it, this level. You can remix this level and feel compelled to, like, you know, well, maybe I can change the lighting and maybe I can change this on this level. To which I think it fails on all of those things. Brandon, every trailer you sent me, I've finished and watched and given all my attention to. This one I couldn't finish.
Yeah, I couldn't finish this. I didn't realize it's their official music video, though. That's weird. Like, is this playing on MTV? Does MTV still play music videos?
No.
No. Okay.
I think the cool thing would be to make the music video the level itself. So to actually experience the music video, you have to play the game.
Sure.
I think taking what you just said and putting it solely in video form to advertise itself is destructive. Because none of us, I mean, the two of you did finish it. I finished it because I was like a deer caught in headlights. I'm like, this has to go somewhere. Clearly there's something amazing that's waiting at the end that I'm just missing, and that never happened.
I'm curious what the Venn diagram is for Xbox One owners and Linkin Park fans. Like, what is that? What sort of eclipse does that look like?
Maybe it's good. They did like the Battlefield soundtrack. It was Medal of Honor. They did the Medal of Honor soundtrack.
And Call of Duty has done stuff like that, where they will pick a song.
Haze and Corn.
Back in Black felt kind of like a music video. You know, like, I love taking a song, especially for something that. There's good intentions behind it, because obviously, you know, you want to get people involved in the creation tools. You want to inspire them to make something. But this also, I mean, can we just talk about the game specifically? Sure. Why is this game so dark? It's so dark. I can't even see the main character.
Is this like an endless runner, by the way?
No, it has an end.
No. Okay, but is it like endless runner? Like you don't really see the guy slow down. He just keeps going. Is it like a one-button game?
Oh, I bet you're right. I bet you're not controlling the left and right here.
Yeah, and he's a constant momentum, right?
Yeah.
And he's just collecting the orbs.
I know. I'm so mad. There's orbs or gems.
But there's no score.
Yeah.
It's not adding up the orbs.
No, it's just.
And it's not like the orbs are doing anything as he's going through.
Are we like watching?
Where to go.
But are we like watching like a perfect game of Pac-Man here, and we don't even realize? Like, is this guy playing flawlessly?
He is.
Well, is this like a skilled?
No, he missed one. He missed a gem.
I'm gonna have to go back through this footage and find that
like an intricate carpet. It is the mistakes that make it perfect.
So I'm really gonna be fishing through the comments here and try to find somebody who's like, okay, I can sell this to you, because if this is exactly how you explained, Kyle, I think you make a mashup of it, you throw in some titles explaining what it is, and then do a redirect to the beta version of the game or to a website or someplace else that is a hub that explains this, but just like this video on its own.
Can we just get a little taste?
All this did, it's gonna come. All this did was just make me hate Linkin Park and hate this game. Like, I don't know. I just I don't want to ever make anything like this. I hope any project I ever take up in
Let's
Project
stop talking
Spark
about it.
doesn't get anywhere close
This is going to
this.
be the first trailer that, well, it's ridiculously long, but I think this is going to be the first trailer we haven't gotten to the end of the trailer.
This is I can't. No way am I showing the whole thing. A 2? I give it a 2.
I'll give it a 1.5.
3.3, repeating.
And finally, I grabbed the cinematic trailer for Smite, which looks like a fun game. It's a game I've seen played at a lot of events. I think it's a game that's been
MOBA
in a mostly playable state for a long time.
Little different.
Another day, another MOBA. But I want to talk for a bit about This kind of trailer obviously reminds me a lot of the World of Warcraft opening, the first Warcraft opening where you're going through the different characters. The big problem I have with this trailer is these characters never do anything. And if I didn't know anything about Smite, I wouldn't necessarily know this is a MOBA or how this is played. I think it's funny that all these characters are introduced and none of them actually fight any of the other characters.
Never even make eye contact.
Right, but they all seem to be getting ready for something, but then we don't
They're getting ready to smite, because once you're smite, you're smote, and you can't do much.
I guess it builds up to the smite. You can't have too much smiting in the trailer. You got to save it for the game.
Are you smitten by this trailer?
No.
The archer's 2 arrows got really close to that wolf, that fire wolf. That's the closest we see them fighting.
It's a launch trailer and it's all CG, but it's also a game that's had like a giant open beta for a long time. So it is kind of weird. Like, what kind of audience are they going?
So what does this
after
add to that
fanfare?
experience? Like, if you're a big fan of the game, how does this get you excited?
I think it kind of delivers. You know, it's like it's that, like you said, it's like Blizzard. It is like that production value, kind of little wrinkle. For a game that's not really story driven or something like that, it's nice to see that attention to detail, but it's more for like the player base that they've already grown.
Yeah, honestly, I think it comes from a place of obligation. Like, if you want to be a contender in the MOBA game, you need a CG trailer. So like they had part of their budget that said CG trailer, and they're just checking this off right now. Is how I feel about it. It doesn't feel like anything special. Smite is actually a unique MOBA in that it's like a third-person perspective.
And actiony, you can like jump and stuff.
Yeah, and none of that comes across in the trailer. And the point of the trailer is to show what's different about Smite.
It just seems like a lot of money was spent and they didn't get a lot from it.
Well, they Tencent, the guys doing League of Legends, are distributing the game in China, so maybe they took some of that 10-cent money.
Sure.
And we're like, let's make something pretty.
But yeah, so what do you where if you were to add 20 more seconds onto this trailer, Kyle, what would happen? Would they all start kicking each other's ass or what?
Yeah. They all kind of walk toward each other at least. I want to see more than 2 heroes at a time. Also, you see 4 total characters in this trailer, and I assume there's more than 4 playable characters in the actual game.
There's a whole pantheon.
Yeah, exactly. So why these 4? Why your 4 generic characters? Oh my gosh, it makes me so mad.
Well, you know, this episode's kind of short. Why don't we just watch Carmageddon? And we can say that's what I would have done if I added 20 more seconds.
Sure.
If I can hijack your show, Brandon. Shanghai you all.
Well, first we got to give a score to Smite. 6 probably. I think it's less than average. Pretty.
I think it fails at its goal, so I give it a 3.
Yeah, I think it's a really particular weird little guy, probably like a 4.
So Ryan, you mentioned this was kind of a shorter episode, so you wanted to maybe squeeze in another trailer. And the Zipster on Twitter mentioned to me specifically a trailer request before the actual episode of Let's Go to the Trailers. For the very first time, Zipster on Twitter said there's no way that we can sleep at night or go on with the rest of our lives without talking about...
The Zipster sounds like the Hamburglar.
It's just Zipster, it's not the Zipster.
Like he's like compressing your files and you don't want them compressed or something.
Zipster with Y, so maybe it's a different kind of zipping. This... I don't know, like part of me thinks this trailer's really funny and the other part remembers when that guy like drove over all those people on Venice Boulevard, you know? So
too soon.
Like, you know, it's a little bit of both. A little bit of pathos, a little bit of humor. But I mean, it's clear what they're going for. There's some nice production values involved with this.
Well, it is Carmageddon.
Right.
I mean, it's appropriate.
Do you have any initial thoughts about this, Kyle?
Genuinely disturbed by this point because the children are singing horrible lyrics about their bus driver killing people.
Would it have been funnier if they hadn't rewritten the lyrics? If they had just sung the creepy song over and over
No,
again?
because I really like when they say Beelzebub in like the high falsetto.
The driver of the bus is going to hell. Beelzebub knows him well. Max is back and raising hell all day long.
He's a personal friend of Beelzebub. Oh, that's not the tune, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Here's another question, which we're about to get to this point in the trailer. Did gameplay help or hurt this trailer? I thought it was a little silly to show gameplay at the end. It kind of undermined it because I forgot what it looked like. I was like, oh yeah, there is a new Carmageddon coming back. And then it jumps to gameplay and it's like, oh yeah, it looks like that. That's right.
I don't know. I think it's always good to be like upfront, and they did this little thing, but it's like, hey, we actually do have a game. You know, I mean, this thing could have gone viral in the sense that it's a weird little Happy Tree Friends cartoon. But you know, it's good to be like they're proud of their game. They want to show that this has a unicorn horn phallic thing thrusting in midair, and people you can run over.
So yeah, actually, Brandon, what I like about the gameplay here at the end is that like Basically, to me, this trailer is made to show that like we still have our tone, and that gameplay at the end tells us, oh, we're not going super serious with this game. It's called Carmageddon Reincarnation, but we're still maintaining what Carmageddon was, which is goofy, dumb fun.
Can you go to when the cow gets hit?
Lots of specific
Can you
requests.
pause right, like frame by frame, like Zerupitor film when the cow gets hit? Okay, boom. Look at all that comes out of the cow.
Oh,
milk. A ribeye steak. The udder's still intact.
So we're more impressed by this 2D animation than anything in Smite, which is weird.
But I have an issue with the gameplay at the end, and I didn't think about this before. There are no buses in the gameplay, which I think is disingenuous.
Did you call that phone number?
And there's no residential neighborhoods, which seems kind of weird. Like, it seems weird to, like, the level they showed was, like, ice level.
Yeah.
And I wonder, like, if there is a level in a residential area, because that would seem like the nice big gameplay payoff after watching this. You see, like, oh, now it would first cut to the bus that's in the game.
Well,
it's like, I wonder where the bus motif came from.
I'm going to go on record. Carmageddon is a popular game, or was a popular game. Carmageddon was never a good game. You know, it had a thing going for it, which goes to our base senses. And I wasn't really all surprised, but I'm glad they did show gameplay from, like, kind of a more, like, I don't know, stand back, objective level. And the lady has mustache. This reminds me of what was that movie, Death Race?
Death Race 2000?
Yeah, that movie's awesome.
Kyle, do you want buses in this game?
No, I can probably tell you there won't be buses in there. This was some like funny animator's idea of like, well, we'll start it off with like a kid's tone and then bring in our Carmageddon flavor into it.
But this guy with the robot arm and the skull knees?
He will be in the game.
Sweet!
Yeah.
That's all I want. I just want some reference.
I think they missed the opportunity. Why was there no little worm in the apple? It could have been like, oh no.
Yeah, details is definitely what this trailer lacks.
After that cow.
I always find it interesting when game companies that know they don't have a huge game on their hands do something like this to really grab people's attention. And
Sure.
so, in that regard, I give it a 7.5. I think the gameplay at the end is a little bit weird, which I think drops it below an 8 for me. But considering I hadn't thought about Carmageddon at all this week, it jumped to the forefront of my consciousness, and I tip my hat for that.
You make a great case, Brandon. I'm going to give it a 7.2.
You're going to be lower than that initially?
Yeah.
Do we want to know what you were going to score?
It was going to be higher than that, actually.
Oh.
But then they were like, this is really unrelated to what the game will actually be. To me, this is all about setting a tone more than setting like any expectations of what game you're going to be playing.
Yeah, I maintain that it would have been better if I had been interested enough to go to the website and then see the gameplay. That would have been one thing, but to immediately hit me with like, oh, it's a cheap game. Okay. You know, it just kind of, cheap games aren't bad. You know what I mean? There's nothing bad about Carmageddon. It just, this trailer has more production values, it seems, than the game did in some regards, as far as like, you know, the quality of like the game being among good games and this trailer being among good trailers.
I'll just give it a 7 flat, which I think it may make it trailer of the week. Was that the one, or did one go higher than this?
Well, we have some other trailers to mention, but we can get to that in a second.
Oh,
again,
you
you're
scored the
jumping the
other
gun, Ryan.
Man,
You're
the boss
totally
of the show
disrupting
today.
You're gone for
No.
1 week.
I was just thinking about
And then
that, like the one we weren't going to even talk about. We don't give scores to the ones we don't talk about, right?
No, we just chat about it.
I was just thinking about it. It's weird.
You're ruining my curriculum.
What I would like to ask you guys is, Bloodworth showed you that game, that next car game.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of had
we played that together.
Right,
Thanks for playing.
that had the that kind of same soapboxy or sandboxy sort of thing at the end. But it's funny going from next car game to looking at this and just being like, next car game looks like, to me, 800 million times better. Even that little playground.
Yeah, this kind of looks like an Xbox game. I don't know.
A very shiny Xbox game.
Very, very shiny. Also, can't finish out the week without talking about a scapegoat, clearly. I had a friend randomly text me about that trailer. He's like, oh, and you've seen Scapegoat, right? Just making sure. So, you know, another game that might not be on people's radars, and so they got to do something a little more flamboyant, a little sillier. Definitely appreciated that. And Tropico 5. I know our own James Kohler's a huge Tropico fan. Any Tropico experience, fellas?
None whatsoever. Oh, I've only watched the reviews on GameTrailers.
I've only read the reviews on GameTrailers.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all. That's my experience with Tropico. But the trailer's really funny. It's a Pirates of the Caribbean joke. If you like jokes or pirates. What were you gonna say, Ryan?
I was gonna say the best developer walkthrough I ever did was for a Tropico game. The guy was super dry but really funny. He's like, I'll just hunt it down. We'll throw up a link or something. It was pretty good though.
So yeah, Spark was kind of terrifying and strange and way too long. Smite was kind of underwhelming, and Assassin's Creed felt really rushed. So Carmageddon is the trailer of the week.
So you know what? Actually, my vote would go to Tropico. I thought that was a great trailer. But if we got to pick amongst those, yeah, maybe Carmageddon. I think that ranked the highest.
I think you can vote for Tropico. I mean, if everyone votes for Tropico.
My vote's for
Tropico!
You like Tropico?
The dictator will live forever.
The one.
His trailer will reign supreme.
Did you
Yes or
watch-
no answer.
No, I didn't
Ryan.
watch it. I'm just jumping on the boat. The
Man.
Tropico boat.
So Daniel Bloodworth is going to be back next week. It's going to be great. And we'll be back to talking about trailers.
No.
Well,
So Carmageddon wins trailer of the week.
that gets my vote. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I
yeah.
would do,
Okay.
too. Who cares what
By
Ryan
default,
says?
yeah, by default, it has to win.
what I
We're
said
gonna
before.
We're gonna have 3 microphones next week instead of just one that we share, so I can turn Kyle's or Ryan's microphone off if I need to.
Why am I such a jerk?
Because it's not really the content; it's the noise level mostly, Ryan. It's just kind of unpredictable. But thank you guys again for coming in. I am still on jury duty, but hopefully I'll be all wrapped up with it by next week, and we'll be back for another episode of Let's All Go to the Trailers. See you then.